Hey everyone. Just wanted to record this quick message for targeted individuals. Every Friday, we're going to have a conference call, pretty much open forum. We could talk about current events, anything related to targeted individuals, of course, um, technology, Bible prophecy, or if you want to call in and have the floor for a moment because you need support from others or you need to make contact with others, um, please feel free to express yourself. You are in the company and community of people who share your experience. Um, Also, if you're interested in being a contact person in your state, let me know. I want to try to build this or rebuild with some solid people that are strong enough to support others. So if you feel like you have a calling to be in your state, please email me. There will be information in the description of this video on how to do that. Also, I want to thank Jason Chun Lee on Twitter for his encouraging message. I have been targeted for 20 plus years. And I would say the experience of targeted individuals is that we're constantly learning about what is going on. I have my view on this. My view comes from Bible prophecy on what I think is happening. I also work in IT, um, so I have a technical understanding too. Um, of course, like any targeted individual, I've had my life and career sabotaged. Um, One of the things I like to say is that considering how long this has been, I know it's not an investigation. It's something else. And if you look at the diversity of the targeted individual community, it is an experiment. The background of targeted individuals are very diverse, all walks of life, race, uh, disability. They will target anyone. It's very sadistic. And for any new target or anyone who is starting to hear this word targeted individual, um, it is uh, this term is it's underneath that term targeted individual. There's a lot of things going on. Um, it is about breaking down a person's life, um, so that their experience in the world has been greatly degraded, greatly compromised. Technology, whether it's your cell phone, your computer, uh, all of these devices can be exploited by our federal agencies. Some targeted individuals have been implanted with technology that allows for, from what I can best make out, it allows for tracking, the delivering of painful shocks at times, and possibly even the collection of um, audio and visual data. And I know that may sound like sci fi, but I can tell you as an IT professional that we do have the infrastructure to make something like this possible. Uh, Targeted individuals will also be exposed to a vicious slander campaign. Some of it can be privacy invasion. So, what I mean by that is you can have the slander, but you can also have things, private moments of your life, or maybe you weren't always in a good place. But I remember looking at an article where the title said, the government is collecting data on all American citizens to use it against them. Being a targeted individual is the only crime that can be openly conducted without anyone really caring about that. But most crimes committed against someone, we're likely to feel, oh, I'm sorry this happened to you, or can I help, or anything like that. But the targeted individual experience seems to cut us off from due process, civil and constitutional rights, um, and also, which which I don't understand. But I think what happens here is that, according on the information that is blasted out, and you have to understand, wherever your phone is located, or if you're being tracked by other means, they have the ability, through maybe looking at your email, phone calls, where your phone is located, to then message that environment in regarding you. And then it will trigger some people even to join in on your harassment. Like, for example, um, one of the things that is prevalent when you're a targeted individual is the attempt to sensitize you to things. So, for example, and this may sound normal, but the targeted individual has begun to realize something is not normal about this. So it could be something like, someone comes up to you and says, "Nice shirt." Now they don't go to anyone else and say that. But they come to you, and actually had this happen in many different scenarios. Or, um, and then you start to realize it's not, they're genuinely expressing like for a shirt. It's more like, I'm going to say this because I've been prompted by the people targeting this individual. So I'm then going to take up that and also target that person. Again, it's to say it's a nice shirt is not criminal, but it's a way of taking a jab at a person who's done nothing to you. And I'm going to just speak from the heart here, and just say this: if you have done these things, you may consider them minor, but every single day, our entire experience is being watched over and governed by God, who is the supreme authority of justice. And you may miss justice today, tomorrow, and the day after, but at some point you're not going to miss it, because we're all going to be accountable for it. And another thing, too, tragedy can come into your life at any point, and you may not think on how you treated someone who, um, is identified as a targeted individual. It may not become clear to you, but tragedy is going to come into your life, and it can be greatly hurtful. It will impact you for maybe many days, could be years. But, and I'm not wishing that upon you, but it's very easy sometimes for people to, as long as nothing is happening to them, to then release their most sadistic behavior on others. Um, you don't fully know what has happened to targeted individuals, and you don't fully know what is really happening here. In the 20 years I have been targeted, um, you could take down entire crime families in less than that, entire terrorist organizations, if that's really what you want to do. But to be constantly surveilled, even when you're just sitting at home, this is how ridiculous this is. I know many targeted individuals. They're decent people. Maybe they do have some moments of in their life that weren't the best. But what's happening to targeted individuals is, it's definitely far beyond any sort of, like I said before, it's not an investigation. Once your name is swept up in this program, it is about destruction. And the people implementing this, uh, are in no rush. It is a very slow, over time, destruction of the person's life, their health, their mental state, just their well-being in general. Um, and this is what happens when you have any form of authority that doesn't have the ability to govern themselves. So, for example, when it comes to criminals, all criminals in their mind, whether they ever voice this in words or not, are saying, I don't want to be caught. But the problem becomes when government and law enforcement are saying the same words, I don't want to be caught. You know, um, I just became aware of a very uh, incredible story of a woman by the name of Dawn DeVore that worked for a prison in California. And somehow she got a hold of an email. I believe it was an email, or it could have been a printed out document. But either way, it revealed that the prison was had again, the prisoners didn't know this, but they implanted several prisoners with devices. And listen at what they were able to do. At one point, there was a fight in the prison, and they were able to send some sort of signal to the individuals that had the implants to stop them from fighting. Um, Another thing they tested was causing them to uh, sleep for extended periods of time. And according to the document, it was 18 plus hours. Can you imagine that? Another thing was that the prisoners didn't want to. This is the test group of prisoners again. The prisoners didn't want had no interest of taking showers. They had no interest of working out while they were part of this experiment for two. It said 2 months, and they didn't know. Um, Now you need to understand something. This is what they're able to do by simply inserting a device into someone. So that should alarm you. Now, here's the other thing. Now, although that was in you could say, a controlled environment, many Americans are showing up positive for implants. And one of the things, I've seen a few of these reports, but one of the things that's very interesting that seems to line up on every report is that there's a signal being associated with that person's body that is a frequency range that has something to do with telemetry or global positioning, your location. So it's very interesting. Now, there was a document, the 2024 to 2034 vision of law enforcement, that showed law enforcement interest in using RFID and nanoparticles for the tracking of human beings. So, this is already easy with the phone. But what if you leave your phone behind? Now that you would think, oh, I'm not being tracked. But what they have done is implanted the individual. So, again, like I said, I have a prophetic Bible prophecy way of looking at this. Um, Now, but if we look at some of the things that can be done by implants, for example, location, the delivery of pain, the altering of mood or mind, things we would do normally. All of this, to me, looks like something designed to oppress human beings, and that it's currently being uh, more research and development, experimentation. And in the prisoner situation, I want you to notice the prisoners weren't asked to be a part of a study, they were involuntarily implanted. So what's happening to targeted individuals is something unwarranted, something we wouldn't sign up for, and they use various means to get us into these uh, top secret programs. Now, what happened to the prisoners were a part of IBM's security department. Um, so you'll be grossly mistaken if you think IBM is the only stakeholder in this. Multiple technology uh, enterprises, entities are involved with the creation of implantable devices, nanoparticles. And here's the thing about technology will have a good and evil use, always. That's just the way man works. We always have this dual nature of things going on, good and evil. And that is due to our fallen state, which we find ourselves. So I want to invite you, if you're a targeted individual, especially if you're a new targeted individual, you need support. You need to hear from people who have been in this for a very long time. I want to invite you every Friday at 8 p.m. to join us for a conference call. It's called You're Not Alone. It's hosted on Microsoft Teams. There's information in the description here and how you can join. And I do hope to see you there, and that we, build a community. And again, like I said, I'd love people to sign up to be a contact person. And just to go over that briefly, what that means is that you would be volunteering to just receive phone calls for others, make contact with others, maybe form groups in your area. Again, targeted individuals often don't feel safe for various reasons. Some of the things that happen to us is the tampering with food. So you may need to organize things that are safe for other people. For example, going to a buffet or getting together for a group walk or getting together to go to church together. Despite what they're doing to impact our lives, we're still human beings. And we are able to come up with other things. And as a group, let's say you start off with a group of 5, then it grows to 10 or 15. Then you develop friendships, someone you can call, maybe even have a birthday together with people that you can now trust. And always have a watchful eye over if your group is being infiltrated or not. Do your due diligence to vet people. um, but yeah, sign up, and that just means that people will be able to call you. um, so that's something, if you're interested, please email me and we'll get that going. I hope to get people from every state. I just learned that if you haven't had your I'm switching gears here. There is a way to get scanned for implants. There is a professional electrical engineer and countermeasures uh, professional that has the equipment to do this. John Kingston and also Jesse Beltran. It is very important that targeted individuals get. Uh, you need confirmation so you can speak about what's being done to you very confidently. Uh, so anyway, yeah, get that done. So I'm going to close out here for now. Um, I am here for you. I have a lot of email to catch up on at this point, but we're human beings, and let's grow our community, bond with each other, support one another. um it there's communities that surround all different things in this world. Ours may be on an unfortunate situation, but it has brought us together, and I highly encourage you to take that up, to build the community, to no longer suffer in silence or be in the shadows. No need to hide anymore that you're a targeted individual. People are starting to know, but we can certainly teach others. But we're always going to have people, even if we tell them that we're targets, they're going to want to still commit crimes against us. They don't care. But one day they will. When tragedy enters their life, um, God would oversee that. And if they're redeemable people, they'll stop their involvement in crimes. Um, but we can only hope, for the sake of their soul, we hope they will stop and change. But if not, only God can judge them and will hold them accountable for their behavior, no matter what status or position they had while they were on this earth. God will. God will give out the proper justice at that time. It's not about our hands. We should never seek revenge on our own. And that's one thing you can get by being a part of a conference call or support group. You learn strategies. You learn about how God is watching over you despite it being difficult. And you learn that your ego and pride must reduce and let God handle all of his affairs, and keep your hands out of criminality and bond with other people, and leave everything else up to God, because he will act, I assure you. Leave it up to him. My name is Tori Bolden, and I look forward to collaborating with others. Um, I have my own struggles to deal with because of this program and what it's done to my well being. So sometimes I'm just not at my best. But I do know one thing: my Lord Yeshua, today is his Sabbath. Sabbath is from Friday to Saturday night. And I know he's going to watch over me. I won't get to him perfect. No one will. But I'm looking forward to hearing him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And I want you to be with me, join with me in hearing that. I feel sorry that people are so blind to what really is happening. I really feel sorry for you. And one day you're going to be in a place of regret that you won't be able to do anything about. And I know you don't understand my words because you don't know the God of this universe, Yahweh, Yeshua. But one day you're going to regret how you treated your fellow man. Even you're going to regret that you watched others suffer and didn't do anything. You didn't go to the police. You're going to regret this. If you don't know that, look up the story of the rich man and Lazarus. Look up that parable. And I know many of you will, and you'll still ignore it. I'm not looking for sympathy, but what I'm telling you, I am at this point giving you a warning before I close this video. Be very mindful of what you do to others. We are truly in prophetic times. I am warning you. Learn about Yeshua. We all have to give up whatever sin is holding us back. And it may be hard at times, but if we love him, we have to love him more. And we have to think of our sin as hurting him. Think of it in those terms. Anyway, I will close out now. I'll probably adjust the description on this video just to make sure I have resources there. But Again, I want to thank you for listening. Build your community, bond together, build the evidence you need if possible. Some targeted individuals have been successful with their lawsuits, and that could be any one of us as well. So, again, thank you for listening. Have a good day. God bless you. And I will see you on our Friday evening conference call at 8 p.m. every Friday. Thank you so much. Have a good day.